We have not one or two, really three today's specials at 12 midnight that really help get us through the most difficult time of the year when it comes to our digestion and our immunity, or the foods or maybe alcohol that we're drinking. All those details coming up at midnight. But in the meantime, our Ultimate Eye is another customer pick, another customer favorite. Certainly in the savings that we're seeing for this holiday season, 30, 60, 180, and 360, that extended holiday return policy, free shipping, special flex pays. You know, the thing is, Andrew, whether it's that blue light, we're looking at laptops, we're looking at computers. I mean, we used to think about your eye support during the summer months, but it's equally important now because we're all staring at those little screens, whether we like it or not.
No, I'm sitting here in front of a camera. I've got a couple of screens in front of me all day long. I wrote the blog post I posted the other day sitting in front of my computer. And when I'm not on my computer, I'm answering emails on my phone. I know I'm not alone. And blue light is something that affects our vision. But what I think has really motivated folks to make this product as popular as it is we've always been able to talk about the long-term protective benefits of lutein and zeaxanthin. We've always been able to talk about the benefits to night vision of anthocyanins that we have present in this product, which are amazing for healthy night vision. But I think what people really love to experience is to see a difference in how their vision performs today. And even for their ophthalmologist or optometrist or optician, to talk to them about seeing a difference in how this product is supporting the health of their vision and the health of the structure of their eyes. There's no avoiding that. There's no disputing that. And when you read the reviews, and on all of these products we've talked about, without exception, they're almost unanimously positively reviewed products. So those reviews will be encouraging, and those reviews are an opportunity for you to perhaps embrace some of the same benefits. And when it comes to our vision, it is the most important of our five senses, arguably. It's something we want to preserve because in preserving healthy vision, it helps to preserve the quality of our life and the enjoyment of our life. When it comes to lutein and zeaxanthin, when it comes to the anthocyanin-containing products in this formula, it is our most comprehensive foundational formula for healthy vision. And at special pricing, it's a great opportunity to try it also. Like all of the products I'll be talking about, there's a money-back guarantee. Typically, it's 30 days. Today, it goes all the way to January 31st. So that's 31 days in January, 31 days in December. So it's going to be more like a 90-day money-back guarantee. So a great opportunity to see the difference it can make for your vision or someone's vision that you love.
Absolutely. And one of the things that I've noticed, Andrew, I was talking about laptops and computers, is kind of that visual acuity, you know, how our focus has to snap back. Because quite often we're looking at a cell phone or looking at a tablet, and then we have to look up and focus on a television screen. Even when I go to the gym and the TVs are a mile away from the treadmill, it makes such a big difference. And especially because I'm usually driving home at night vision, and you've got a beautiful nightscape behind you there in California, it helps with all of those challenges that are just part of that natural aging process.
And that's one of the most common things we hear is about night vision and how as we get older, our life can become tremendously limited. We might not do social engagements. We might not go out because we're fearful or concerned about driving at night. The anthocyanins in this product, the bilberry extract that provides the anthocyanins that help to regenerate what's called the visual purple portion of our retina that's critical for night vision, just make a profound difference. It's amazing the difference it makes. In things we think we can't make a difference about, it's amazing how natural ingredients, when you follow Mother Nature's blueprint, in a fashion that science has recognized that Mother Nature had a good blueprint, it's amazing the difference that you could see. So long-term protection for the health of our retina, the macular region of our eye, there is no question that lutein and zeaxanthin are absolutely critical to protect the structure, the health, the circulation to the macular region of our retina. Lutein and zeaxanthin, we must have them. And anthocyanins are a critical part of the visual system that enables us to have good quality vision at night. So a comprehensive product that supports the most important of our senses, that is just indispensable for the quality of our life.
And I mean, boy, you nailed it. I mean, you know, we could make the argument, well, certainly one of our most important, you know, senses is sight. And there's an onslaught, there's a daily onslaught. So this is something that you can do because we aren't eating in the way that will support your eye area in the way that this product was. And most notably, almost today's special pricing. It's part of that weekend special in the 30, 60, 180, or 360. And remember, we have that extended holiday return policy. We have that free shipping. And if you read those reviews, I know we keep talking about how everything that Andrew does is a customer pick. At a 4.6-star customer pick rating and almost 2,000 reviews, here's another one where people are going to have a high standard of measurement in terms of how they rate this. But one of the newer products that you've brought into the line, Andrew, at least new to me, I didn't realize, this is that lutein plus the zeaxanthin, the ultimate level. Was that something people had asked for?
Well, a couple of people did. Well, it was a lot of ophthalmologists and optometrists were asking for this. In fact, my ophthalmologist, when